What is up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday, and my question for you today is how do we truly, build up our beliefs? And how do you get the ball rolling? Because, at the end of the day, it all comes down to building up the momentum so that, there's those little wins that can turn into the bigger wins. So my name is Michael, and today I'm talking about part 5 of the master system. And the idea today is of your references. Okay. So think about like your references. Think about it like a tabletop, right? You have the top of the table. That's what you believe you can do. Okay. And each one of the legs that holds up the tabletop is a reference. So if you want to believe that you can be a salesman, well, then you're going to need more references that you can talk and that you can do this. Hello there, everyone. Right. So when it comes to, building your references, there's a lot of ways that you can do this. One of the ways is just remembering all the great things that you've already done. Right. Think about this is something that I did, and it was something that my mentor had me do. He made me write down 500 things that I did well, because what that did was it reminded me, how great I really am, and that, I can be able to do what I really need to do, to be that business person that I need to be. And really, it was like when you write down 500 things that you do well, you start to realize, damn, I already got this, right? I have the confidence in me. I can do what I set out to do. And it's little things like that most people will look over, but you need to start building up that confidence, because it's these references that are going to build your belief. Now, another huge thing that I think would really be beneficial is, it doesn't always have to be your own references, right? Let's say that you want to build your personal brand and you want to start showing up live, right? I had no faith in showing up live, right? I was like, why would I ever do live calls and just say my thoughts? But luckily, I had the references of individuals who built their own personal brand before me, and they were showing up live. And so I realized, it wasn't until, right? It wasn't until my mentor, Sean, he did 1,500 episodes. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it makes sense to start showing up live, because I had that reference, right? It doesn't have to be your own reference, when you really got to be like, okay, this is the way to do it. And so you can take the references from other people to build up your belief that it's possible. Now, another thing that I think is really beneficial, right? I'm a huge reader, and I think it's really important to read a ton of books of other people's stories, right? Don't read books about all that fiction crap, right? Read books about people's real stories and how they overcame the obstacles that they came, right? I know, for example, right, for me, reading books like a lot about the Navy SEALs people, right? That was a huge help, because I realized, damn, like I can absolutely be pushing myself way further when it came to, working out and just being disciplined in the mind. So get like a wide array of books, study other people's success stories, because, a lot of people watching this are probably young like me. We don't have all these references of really hitting, the big milestones. So what you can do is start to study the lives of people that are really successful, and all of a sudden you start to get their references. You start to build their habits, and you see how they just got started. They got the ball rolling, and all of a sudden, momentum builds up, because once you get that ball rolling, it really comes down to the little wins that change everything, right? It all, like, for example, before I show up on live here, for example, I will consider like a win, like when I wake up at 5 a.m., right, that's a little win. All right, cool. I got that little check mark. Then I go to the gym first thing in the morning, right? You get that check mark in the box. And then I show up on live, right? You do these little things, and they add up, and it's crazy, because, people overlook it. They'll think like, oh, I just gotta, start that $1 million business, or, oh, I just gotta, become wealthy and successful. But it's the little things that build up that belief, so that you can get it going. I hope I'm making sense here. Now, that's what I wanted to talk about with references and how they go hand in hand with your beliefs. And a lot of people just aren't really aware of, how much they really already have in them. Right? You already have it in you. Here's the thing. You don't have to learn anything new, right? You don't have to take another course or learn anything new. You already have it in you to be great. You just got to remember that you already are great. And a lot of people forget because they have these negative references for that impact negative beliefs, right? Maybe, you didn't have a great childhood growing up, and maybe, you grew up really poor. Maybe you were abused, but those are negative references. And now next thing you know, you have a negative belief. I have no idea where I was going with that. Anyways, anyways, but a lot of people, you got to remember, it's the little things that you already got through, right? You got through, maybe like graduating middle school, high school, college, right? It's these little things that you already have done that you got to start writing out and really, really encoding that into your brain. Because even though it's there and you like, yeah, I already know I'm great, you want to write it out. And I'm telling you, if you write out 500 things that you did well, right, you start to get into the deep work. You'll start thinking, man, there's no way I can write 500 things that I did well. Well, I had to pay a hefty price to figure that out. And the truth is, you do have it in you, and you got to start putting it on paper and really doing that deep work, right? A lot of people are just not going deep enough into realizing like what they are capable of, and it really does require that deep work to really write all those out. So that's the conversation today on your references and how that links to your beliefs. Now, this is part 5 of the master system, and I really hope that what I said made sense. If anyone is curious about learning more about this, right, it came from Tony Robbins, the book Awaken the Giant Within. And I'm telling you, if you study that book, right, it will absolutely change your life forever. And I went through it again and again to share these ideas with you. So that's a lot for today. I appreciate you all for joining, and I'll see you all on Monday.